The Republican Party has a new fundraising juggernaut, and it is really, unfortunately, Marjorie Greene. And joining us now to break it down, some amazing reporting here is friend of the show and senior Washington correspondent for The Insider, Dave Levinthal. Welcome back to the Daniels Report.
Hey, John, good to be with you.
Glad to have you here. Usually gladder when it doesn't involve Marjorie Greene, but there's a pretty good reason that you had to look into what she's been up to recently. So tell us a little bit about what you found.
What we found is that she had an absolutely monumental, record-breaking first quarter to this year when it came to raising money. There has been no freshman House member who even come close to raising the kind of money that she did during the first 3 months of this year. And that's more than $3.2 million. To put that into perspective, John, there's only one member of the entire US House who raised more money during the first 3 months of this year than Marjorie Taylor Greene, and that's Nancy Pelosi. Okay, so just think about that for a second. So what does that mean? Well, it means that she has clearly taken her celebrity, and she has clearly taken the seemingly bad thing that happened to her, being stripped of all of her committees for making statements in the past that have been anti-Semitic, that have been, in many people's opinion, racist, violent, and she's been able to monetize that in a very, very dramatic way.
She has, and I don't think that you can discount the being removed from the committees. I wonder how much time-wise it's really affecting her. My assumption would be that she wouldn't be spending a lot of time grinding out legislation to introduce in the committees, but certainly the conversation about booting her out, the actual vote, I mean, this is something that she probably focused quite a bit on in her fundraising appeals, talking about that this is the ultimate version of cancel culture, that she's being removed from these committees.
Yes, all of that plus aligning herself with Donald Trump. So if you add those two things together, you've got a pretty impressive pitch to a certain segment of America. When you can go to them in an email or in a marketing campaign and say, hey, look, I'm the one who's fighting against the socialists, the communists, the evil liberal Democrats. Give me $50. I will fight against that. I am your ultimate voice here in Washington, D.C., your combatant, your number one advocate. And that's effectively what she did. Now, it wasn't her doing it. It wasn't somebody who she hired to work full time on her campaign. What she's done is replicate a technique that many Republicans and many Democrats have done too, which is hire a Washington consulting firm or a national consulting firm that goes out and you spend a lot of money to hire them, and then they go out and they raise you even more money from people who are not in Marjorie Taylor Greene's Georgia district, but are in anywhere but California, Florida, Texas, North Dakota, all across the country. She has really nationalized her campaign effort in a way that we rarely see with freshman House members. And she's done it pretty much at the same level that some of the real national figures in Congress have done to make themselves the big deals that they are, or that they think they are.
You know, I had seen when some of the initial information was coming out about how well she was doing fundraising funds, there was some initial criticism of that, saying that it was a little bit inaccurate because she was spending so much money to raise money. It wasn't as impressive. Do you buy that? I mean, the numbers are still huge regardless, I assume.
Well, the numbers are still huge, and the bottom line is huge too. So yeah, you have to spend money to make money. And in her case, she spent a lot of money. She made even more money, and she entered April of this year, according to federal records that we reviewed, with more than $2 million cash on hand. So that's some serious scratch. And it's also going to allow her to do something that also a lot of members of Congress don't have the luxury of doing, which is go beyond their own district to try to propagate an ideology, to boost their own profile. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, yeah, she may get a primary challenge in 2022, but the chances of her losing are relatively slim. She's got almost no chance of being beaten by a Democrat. This is a very red district. So how's she gonna use that $2 million or however many other $1 million she raises along the way this year? Well, she can use it in pretty much any sort of way that she wants to, including national media campaigns, social media, online media, messaging. This is gonna give her a major money megaphone that she clearly is gonna use as much as she wants to.
Yeah. Well, look, she, as you pointed out, she aligned herself with the president. She, with her Trump won mask, she's, I think, one of the most explicit elected representatives in terms of saying that the election was stolen, that Trump actually won it. She's been, very, very defensive about that. I don't know that it might be too early for us to know, but she's one of the only Republicans that has allied herself still with Matt Gaetz. She's doing that tour with him.
Yep.
But based on what you've said about the way that she appeals via email, it doesn't seem like lining herself up with Matt Gaetz is likely to hurt her with the people who've been funding her so far.
No, it's not going to hurt her with them, and it could very well help her. I mean, in a way, she's trying to fashion herself as the AOC of the alt-right or the far right, somebody who could maybe perhaps even get together her own squad, whether that includes Matt Gaetz, whether that includes people who will run in 2022. Again, if she's got a lot of extra surplus money, that's money that she can spread around. She can help other candidates with that. She can go into their district, she can support them, she can get involved in primaries. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, many people are just gonna write her off as just a wackadoodle and somebody on the fringiest part of the fringe. But yet she's going to be somebody who does have the means, at the very least, to go and support people who are very like-minded with her and support her, for that matter, including those who are running for office against some Republicans who may be too moderate for their electorate or may not necessarily toe the ideology of the Republican Party. Think about people like Liz Cheney and those who have run crosswise with their own party in the past few weeks or few months because of their stances on things such as the January 6th insurrection or their support for Donald Trump or lack thereof.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because I want to turn to that for one sec to close this out. You speculated about a few of the ways that she might spend this money. She has posted several tweets indicating that she hasn't been explicit, but that Elise Stefanik being chosen as the replacement should not be a given, that there should be a conversation about somebody else taking that spot. Could she perhaps use her money to try to build influence for her to take that number 3 spot, or does that seem way too premature? I mean, she's only been in the House for a few months.
Yeah, the chances of her becoming a leader or somebody who rises through the ranks of the Republican Party are effectively none right now. That she has been stripped of her committees in the House and is basically right now the most marginalized member, at least technically on paper, in the House, is very telling. But she doesn't care about that. She cares about everything outside of Capitol Hill when it comes to being able to push her agenda, her brand of Republican politics, and her ideology. So I would expect Marjorie Taylor Greene to really put her efforts toward what's going on all across the country and not so much here in Washington, D.C.
Interesting. Well, as always, anybody watching this would like more information, Dave's article is available right now as Insider. If you want to go there and take a look at some numbers that will probably likely freak you out. But it's great reporting as always, Dave, and we appreciate you joining us.
Hey, thank you, John. I appreciate you.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.